Hi, sweeties! We're back on the main story in episode 2, and it's finally the beginning of the Xiaofei rescue mission. Now, let's overthink about it. Lu Guang has passed out twice now. First was sometime after they met Vane, and the next one was when he found out that Xiaofei was missing. And whenever he passes out, it's usually followed by a nightmare that is related to something that happened in the past. At first, I thought he passes out because of the changes that greatly affect the probability of keeping Xiaoshi alive. But it seems that Season 3 had shown that it's not necessarily the case. He actually said it himself. When it looks like they have solved one thing, there are countless more that remain unanswered. So, when he thought that he just needs to keep the past events as they were, Vane suddenly showed up much earlier than expected. And when he thought he finally got rid of the murderer that will kill Xiaoshi in the future, an important friend of him goes missing. The unpredictable futures are stressing him out. It makes him feel worse when it seems that his actions are what's causing more problems. Of course, I'm not saying that he was lying about not being able to rest while Xiaofei is in danger. It actually just proves more about how much he genuinely cares about Xiaofei. I think he feels more restless because he wouldn't be able to forgive himself if a dear friend was harmed because of what he did. Like Xiaoshi, Lu Guang was also desperate in rescuing Xiaofei that even in his weak state, he already looked into Xiaofei's social media account and used his power on the suspicious photo. He really tried to know about Xiaofei's whereabouts. And then, Lu Guang went down as soon as possible to let the others know that Xiaofei is indeed in danger. Xiaoshi and Xiaoling are Lu Guang's priorities, so it's no surprise that he was a little hesitant in letting Xiaoshi dive into the photo. But he was easily persuaded by Xiaoshi, despite the puppy's notorious record of broken promises. And that's because Lu Guang really doesn't want to lose Xiaofei either. Xiaoshi had witnessed his best friend passing out in front of him for 2 times already. That must have been quite traumatizing. Fortunately, on the second time, Xiaoling had been with him. Xiaoshi was no longer alone, unlike last time when he even needed to bring Lu Guang back to the hotel and buy medicine. He got so tired that he ended up sleeping on Lu Guang's bedside. So this time, he was able to watch over Lu Guang until Lu Guang opens his eyes. On both times, it should be safe to assume that he had been watching over Lu Guang, never leaving Lu Guang's side like last time. And with that, he was able to see what Lu Guang had been feeling, doing, and saying during those nightmares. He was so concerned about it that he can't help but ask Lu Guang what it was about the moment Lu Guang woke up. Both of the siblings can tell that Lu Guang is hiding something and is suffering from it. But if Lu Guang doesn't want to talk about it, then there's nothing they can do. They also don't like it when Lu Guang pushes himself to use his powers. But Lu Guang already used it by the time they found out on this scene, so oh well. Oh, I find it so sweet to see him sitting between the siblings. Anyway, of course, as what was already hinted in the trailers, Xiaoshi also cares about his bro a lot. He is really worried. So, like Lu Guang, he had investigated Xiaofei's social media account and shared his observations to Captain Xiao. And the moment when Lu Guang confirmed that Xiaofei is in danger, Xiaoshi wants to dive into the photo immediately. No matter the danger, he's going to face it. He'll do whatever it takes to save Xiaofei as soon as possible, even if he loses his dignity. Although Lu Guang finds it difficult to talk about sexual stuff, as we found out from his backstory, he is actually already very familiar about such things since childhood, and he didn't gain knowledge from just movies or books, but he saw it on real people. Oh, it must be traumatizing for the little boy. But what intrigues me is that Zheng Xiaoshi isn't innocent on those matters either. That doesn't make him less pure, but I think it's quite a relief that he is not completely oblivious about what he got himself into. Although it bothers me a little that Zheng Xiaoshi seems to be the type who is willing to be sacrificed if it will help him accomplish what was more important to him. I actually noticed that side of him since the Emma case. As Emma, he was willing to kiss the disgusting guy to make sure that the past remains unchanged. Oh, good thing it didn't happen. And then, as Xiafei, he took the risk of the possibility of being touched by his benefactor just for the small chance of escaping. And what's even more disturbing is that he actually considered the option of accepting whatever that other guy is suggesting if Xiafei himself had actually accepted it. If it's a complete no for him, he wouldn't even consider such an option, right? Does Zheng Xiaoshi just think of his body as a tool or something? Okay, maybe not completely. He did try to resist, like during this time. But still, oh dear, Zheng Xiaoshi needs to be protected. But the one we might need to protect more is Tiaoling. I didn't expect her to be innocent enough to not know what a host does. It's funny that she had thought of Xiafei being buried in the suburbs, but even with the clues of Xiafei working as a host, she wasn't able to connect the dots. Oh, she's so cute. Please stay innocent about those things, my queen. Xiafei, on the other hand, seems to be aware of those things like Guang, and he actually doesn't want that kind of work, as what he had shown on the conversation with his roommate in the Britain arc. So Xiafei agreeing to such a work is too strange. Well, he won't do it willingly at least. Unless... I see two possibilities on why Xiafei is working as a host. The first one is that he was forced into it, like what Zheng Xiaoshi had narrated. But the second one is that he went there undercover. It would explain why Xiafei said that he wasn't suspected in a promo video. Moreover, this henchman even allowed him to take a photo, so there might have been some agreement beforehand. I think Xiafei went there voluntarily. I can only imagine him doing something that disgusts him, even if it's just pretend, only if it will help him get clues about Vane. I wouldn't be surprised if Liu Xiao is involved somehow. If he was kidnapped, Liu Xiao and Vane may have tried to rescue him. But if he was there undercover, Liu Xiao must have been the one who sent him there. And Liu Xiao might even know that the hosts are not allowed to be taken out. Yes, I would like to believe that Liu Xiao cannot let Xiafei be in serious danger either. Even though Liu Xiao didn't show up yet, I'm pretty convinced that he is involved somehow because Li Tianzhen and the new character, Yan, are in that location. They had to be either working for or collaborating with Liu Xiao with their uniform tattoo. Whether Xiafei secretly has the same tattoo now or not, this scene from a trailer seems to be hinting that Xiafei and Yan are working together. Since Xiafei is in his Britain arc attire, then they met much earlier before this overseas incident. So, on the week before the present time, Xiafei appears to have been brought to a place based on Myanmar. The language with the strange characters are actually in Burmese, which is the national language of that country. Some lines appear to be upside down though. I hope the locals will be able to help confirm if what Google has translated is accurate. Anyway, it looks like from the palace, Xiafei was later brought to this villa. Maybe he was brought there very late in the evening or maybe even past midnight. I'm guessing that Zheng Xiaoshi will be exceeding his 12 hours if he is still possessing Xiafei by dawn. By the way, the official linkclick account had recently posted these room photos too. Maybe some big event happened in a room with this study and with this lamp, but no idea what the heck this one is. Anyway, back to Xiafei. I'm glad that he and Zheng Xiaoshi still kept in touch, even after the Vane incident. But it makes me sad that it didn't last for long. I also don't understand why Xiafei was still modeling when he already graduated. He could have found a job that his nerdy self truly wanted. But maybe, like what I mentioned earlier, Liu Xiao really had something to do with it. This post by Xiafei before the incident reminded me of Liu Xiao for some reason. Or maybe I'm just too suspicious of him. Linkclick spreads awareness of various disturbing topics, and that includes sexual harassment and exploitation. It usually happens on women, but there are many cases with male victims too. Unfortunately, Xiafei is an example of this. He's so beautiful that not only women find him attractive, but even men. So he could be a victim of any gender. We must protect Xiafei at all costs. Oh, in case you're not aware, the scene after this one was not shown. This disgusting actor actually tried to kiss Xiafei, but Zheng Xiaoshi pushed him away. It happened during the scene when Guang is strangely just staying still despite the noise in the background. A lot of people suspect that the scene was cut because of censorship, but I saw some fans point out that it would be strange if that were the case because the episodes already went through some screening and had been approved, so further censorship doesn't make sense, unless there had been some complaints after the fan screenings. Oh, that sucks. Anyway, I find it strange how someone can find this guy more beautiful than Xiafei. Fine. Maybe I have no right to say that because I myself have some favorite characters which are even as seemingly plain looking as this Ethan that I like more than I like Xiafei. By the way, I'm becoming curious on how Xiafei has originally acted before Zheng Xiaoshi got involved. My guess is Xiafei was also surprised when he saw his first client, but acted like an experienced professional later. He was doing whatever the client wanted until he was asked to meow. Zheng Xiaoshi and Xiafei are both puppies, so I cannot imagine them going meow. Puppies can only bark, baby. And the times when Zheng Xiaoshi drank wine may be aligned to the number of times Xiafei did too. However, as what was confirmed in the Britain arc, Zheng Xiaoshi has higher alcohol tolerance, so he was able to stay conscious longer than Xiafei did. Xiafei may have stayed conscious during the dance and was indeed dancing happily and stupidly like he did in the Britain arc, just not as hyper as Zheng Xiaoshi had been. And unlike Zheng Xiaoshi, he passed out early. It's quite a relief that even if Zheng Xiaoshi wasn't able to possess Xiafei, Xiafei should still have been safe on this scene since it seems that Li Tianzhen was looking after him. It can't be just a coincidence, right? The next episode's preview had shown Yan. I'm so happy that, unlike Wang Cheng, Yan will be debuting early. I hope Yan was there to help Xiafei. But this scene had also shown Jack pushing Xiafei to the stairs. No! Someone has to save him! Oh wait, maybe Zheng Xiaoshi is still possessing him on this scene? But I don't know if he can save himself using martial arts skills. Or maybe Yan has some power to help him. Or someone else is going to rescue Xiafei. I want Vane to rescue Xiafei! But I prefer Vane rescuing Xiafei himself, not Zheng Xiaoshi as Xiafei. So maybe Li Tianzhen or some of those criminals will be protecting Xiafei. Xiafei is still precious merchandise to them, right? But those thugs will be killed later. I 99.9% believe that Vane will kill them. Or maybe Vane and Li Tianzhen. It will explain Vane's line, wherein he said,
"Dying people need to know my name."
Oh, it's so sexy! What I mean is that what will probably happen is that when Vane shows up in front of those insignificant insects, they will be asking who he is. But he responds that he doesn't need to tell them his name since he's about to kill them anyway. Oh, I'm so excited! But wait, this Tiaoling scene is also on the next episode. Oh no, now I'm worried. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again on the next episode. Take care! Xiaofei is so squishy and squishy and squishy, 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 squishy.